Are you auditioning for a Verizon ad, or?
He just prompted me very well, so.
There you go.
Okay, it's 5:15. Call this January 13th regular meeting of the Board of Aviation Commissioners to order. We have board members Steve Smiley, John, myself present, and board appointee Ernie Wiggins, and Nick and Kelsey, and the mayor, and the newspaper. I don't know you, I'm sorry.
Jackie Gorski. with
Hi,
the company.
Jackie. Dan Robinson. So, first item of business is swearing in of our new member.
Okay, I'd ask Ernie to come down here. I'll tell the board as he's coming down here, it's a great privilege to be able to swear Ernie in. In my life, I've been blessed, as he knows, with countless people, starting with my parents guiding me and getting me through the day. But I think about my ability to serve as mayor. Way before that, his impact on me when it comes to just service, commitment to community, you name it, he's the role model. And so this is a privilege for me to do this as mayor. I really don't think I'd be standing here if it wasn't for his guidance and mentoring many years ago. He was very patient with me. Ernie, thank you very much. Good morning, Mayor, and repeat after me, and here we go. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ernie Wiggins,
I, Ernie Wiggins,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
partially,
and diligently
and diligently
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member of
as a member of
the Board of Aviation Commissioners
the Board of Aviation Commissioners
for the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
for the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
according to law
according to law
and to the best of my ability.
and the best of my ability. And thank you for your trust.
There you go, you'll have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Take it off. Yep. He's got a meeting.
See you later. Oh,
They'll
boy.
all be good. I'd stay back.
Yeah, this too shall
Thank
pass.
you, Mayor.
Appreciate it. Sure.
Hey, Josh.
Ernie. And Josh Fence.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, now that we're whole again, the minutes for the December 9th meeting. Do I hear a motion for approval?
I move we approve them with one exception. In the signature line, it has me listed as secretary, which is not the case.
Apologies. We'll get that swapped for you.
That's fine. I don't care. I just wanted
Yep.
to make sure we had it accurate.
Since we didn't have officers sworn in, we just put your name in and forgot to change that to VP.
I figured.
We'll get that.
Okay,
Yeah, for now.
do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, Steve, second. Any discussion, questions, comments?
Nope.
Hearing none, call for a vote. All in favor of approval of the minutes of the December 9th meeting of 2025, signify by aye.
Aye.
Let the record show that I abstained since I was not a member.
Okay. Great. Any, or since There's none against, why, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the, what'd I do with it?
December 16th.
Yeah, December 16th.
Yep.
And we'll make the same change for you, John.
Right, yep.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the December 16th minutes.
So moved with the same exception as the previous one.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Second by Steve. Any other comments, questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
And once again, I abstain.
And none opposed, so that passes. Good. All right. Approval of claims. We have what I like to call prior to claims, lack of better.
Yep.
$58,250.48, correct?
I believe that's the correct number, Dan. Total amount. No, that's for the fuel. He was looking at the claims total.
Oh, that, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that next, Chelsea. You agree that's the right number?
No, it's more than 58,000.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
I'm
what's
cool.
listed on here as grand total.
Sorry, I misread. Yes, you're correct, Dan.
Okay. All right, do I entertain a motion for approval of prior to claims, $58,250.48.
So moved.
Steve moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ernie. Any questions, discussion, or comments?
Nope.
All right, hearing none, call for a vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, none opposed. All right, now we have additional claims on city aviation services. Where's my total?
$92,684.49. That includes 3 loads of Jet A, 1 load of 100 low lead, 2 software fees, and that's for Ascent Aviation. And then we have our standard monthly $595 for the camp software.
Okay, and you say that total was what? Because I don't see it
For-
on my sheet.
For the
Accent part,
for all of the fuel, it's $92,684.49.
92,
684
684.
decimal 49.
Okay, you got that?
No. I didn't see this.
Steve, do you have that?
Have what?
That
This thing.
Accent Aviation?
Is that all? Okay.
Yeah, our software doesn't total it, but if you add those up, that's what it comes to.
Okay, so we had,
Do you have it, or?
yeah,
I've got it on. No, there it is. I don't have the total either.
I move that we also accept the Accent Aviation Group for $92,684.49 and the camp software for what looks like $595.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
All right, it's been moved by John. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Steve. Any questions, comments? All right, hearing none. All in favor of these Accent Aviation approval and camp software, signify by aye.
Aye.
All right, none opposed. All right. Recognition of visitors. Other than Ms. Gorski, we have none. Now, engineers report.
Okay, let me pull up my screen real fast. Looks like you guys can see right there. So first up is runway 27 with structure mitigation. This is the power line project. Again, we submitted all information to the FAA back in June, and we're just waiting their closeout of that. Nick, I know that you had some back and forth, I believe, with AP. Anything you want to share with the board?
No, nothing too much. We just had discussion with AEP. We've got all of our punch list items complete for that. The grant closeout documentation has been submitted to the FAA. Once they review everything and we receive those documents for board signature and approval, the power line project will be complete. So we're hoping here the next month or so to have that project off the list.
Any questions?
None on
Nope.
that. Proceed.
Alrighty, moving on to improve 927 safety area phase 1, the program definition. We do have an invoice for that. Last month, right before the board meeting, if you remember, we had just submitted the report to the FAA, and now we're waiting for any feedback. We haven't received any from them on that, so there really hasn't been any movement more on this project. So we do have an invoice, so we do need a motion for board approval and Dave Robinson's signature on CHA invoice 58412.4-14 in the amount of $33,083, and the local share of $1,829.15.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of CHA invoice 58412.4-14.
So moved.
Second. Second by Steve. Okay, any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
All right, none opposed.
Do you want a black pen?
Great, thank you. Moving on to the wildlife hazard site visit. Still, we've submitted everything to the FAA, and we're just waiting for any comment on that. So there's no board action for that one. Any questions on that project?
No.
Okay.
And I will say, with the wildlife hazard, I reached out to Simon, and the two of us are going to touch base next week sometime and try and put a plan together to put some more pressure on the FAA to try and get that across the finish line, because this project should have been done a year ago. There's no reason that they should be waiting this long to review that document. So the two of us are going to get together. We might bump Rob and put a strategy together. Because again, it's one of those, it's been no action for what, Mary, 6 or 7 months anyway, that we've been waiting for the FAA. And so we're waiting for them at this point. And so we're going to try and put together a strategy to get a couple of these closed out in the first 6 to 7 months of the year, just so we don't have to worry about them anymore.
Okay.
Next up is the corporate taxi lane, Echo One rehabilitation. We are finalizing the closeout documents and should have that to you all at the next board meeting. We do have a motion for the board for an invoice on that, just from pulling together the closeout documents. We have it all pulled together. We're just doing one final review. We tried to get it at this month's board meeting, and we couldn't get it there. So we'll have it at next month's board meeting. But the board motion for board approval of Dan Robinson's signature on CHA invoice 58412.6-15 in the amount of $3,913.45. And again, this is a little different. This is a state grant, so this is all covered by the state. A little different than some of the other grants that you all have.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of CHA invoice 58-412.6-15 for $3,913.45.
So moved.
Second.
Steve, Ernie, second. Any comments, questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
Thank you.
Yes.
Next up is tax rate router rehabilitation. PHA has finalized the design grant closeout document, so we do have that for Dan's signature and board approval today. Heard back from them right before this meeting, and they are anticipating a construction start of June, potentially. I think that start will work well. If you remember later on, we are repackaging and rebidding phase 2 of runway 927, so we're hoping that could potentially, if they are the low bidder on that, they could roll into from tax rate Bravo into that project if they are the apparent low bidder. So I think that would work well for just scheduling of tenants to have those go back to back like that. So for this, we do have a motion for board approval and Jan Robinson's signature. This is just for the design grant closeout. So this is for AIP number 3-18-0085-024-2024. And this is just the documentation that we sent to the FAA to close this grant out. We did, just so everyone's aware, we did use all of the allocated funds that were available to this grant. We didn't leave any dollar left.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the grant closeout, AIP number 3-18-0085-024, 2024.
So moved.
Moved by John,
Second.
second by Ernie. Any questions or comments on this? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for a vote in favor of the motion. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All right, none opposed.
Thank you all. Moving on to the general services, task order number 9. So we do have a little update on this. I know normally we don't have any update here. I believe it was right before the December board meeting, Nick, that you all met down at the State House, or was that after? I can't remember.
It was just after the board meeting.
Okay. Do you want to share kind of this? I can give a little update on the 927 statute, or if you want to, feel free.
I think it was the morning of, wasn't it?
What was that, Robert?
I think it was the morning of.
Yeah, you're right. It was the morning of the board meeting, now that you say that, because I had to hurry back. Sorry, Dan, I'm
I
gonna get
thought we
arthritis by
discussed
the
it
end of
last
this.
board meeting, but I couldn't remember.
Why don't you start, Mary, and I'll fill in here in a second while I'm getting signatures.
Yeah, so I was not part of the meeting, actually. Rob and Nick and Nathan Linkart, another CHA employee, were at the State House discussing runway 927 and some of the future projects associated with that, with the county road, and just the future, trying to recapture the full length of the runway. And there was discussion about having kind of this fact sheet for runway 927 to share to help potentially get dollars outside of the FAA. Also part of this meeting was the INTOT and Office of Aviation. There was a lot of discussion about some of the big projects that are going to be occurring locally in Warsaw with some of the transportation not the Office of Aviation, and how we can potentially capitalize on some of those projects. So the representative asked for us to kind of put together this runway 927 fact sheet about some of the potential prices associated with those projects. Rob, Nick, feel free to
No.
chime in more, since I was a part of it.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
kind
appreciate
of the gist of it, but
I appreciate you starting that for us, Mary, but you're exactly right. I mean, as everyone knows, as we work towards lengthening our main runway and recapturing the displaced threshold on 927, what happens with 100 East is obviously foremost. As this project's been going on since Ernie was president or mayor of the city, and before that even, what is the best path forward? The airport is still pushing for a tunnel underneath the runway to tunnel 100 East. That is the preferred alternative that we have made known, but obviously that's going to come with a significant cost as well. So looking at some of the other options that may be available, whether rerouting traffic, looping the road, whatever that would be, and then really explaining to our local stakeholders, not just city and county members, but also state representatives and even federal representatives, both in congressional and Senate level, to really understand the importance of that road, some of the significant changes that are coming down the pipeline in the next 5 to 10 years with the 30 bypass project coming up. That road becomes even more critical as 30 becomes a limited access highway. There's a lot of moving pieces and parts to that are just outside of the airport's confines. So there's a lot of people that have buy-in and are weighing in on that. And as I said earlier, a lot of stakeholders with very valid opinions that we need to look at this multidimensionally. And so bringing NDOT into the fold, explaining what's going on, explaining some of the issues that we are facing locally, and engaging them now so that they can start formulating plans and thoughts and opinions. Is this something that could be built into the Propel 30 project? I don't know that. I doubt it. But as we move forward with Propel 30, that's something that definitely the city and the county need to be thinking about as well. So that was the big portion of this meeting, was to get that ball rolling with NDOT and start looking at creative ways to solve this issue.
Okay.
so one of the tasks that was put on CHA was kind of to pull together this runway 927 fact sheet for those representatives to have kind of at their fingertips to be able to say, this is this project, and this is what the cost could potentially be. So
Yep.
Has that fact sheet been shared with us too?
We don't have a final draft yet. We're still working on that. We had a draft. We were working on it. There were some edits that I wanted done. And so we will get that to the board as soon as it is out of draft form, hopefully by the February board meeting.
that's what I was going to say.
I know
It should
Nathan
be
and
ready at that.
I know Nathan and Adam are working hard on it. So Rob's probably napping on the couch while they're working hard, right?
He told me, oh, I haven't worked on that.
Yeah.
I just direct traffic.
Yep.
Alrighty, so we have, for this general services task order, we have a motion for board approval and Dan Robbins' signature on CHA invoice 58412.9-05 in the amount of $5,500. And that is local share, the same as well.
All right, entertain a motion for CHA, approval of CHA invoice 58412.905 for $5,500.
So moved.
Ernie moved,
Second.
second by John. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, none approved or opposed. All right, next.
Next is the Airport Overlay District, task order number 10. No real update for that. We do have an invoice that just kind of encompasses some of the meetings and coordination that we've had with that over the last couple months. Rob or Nick, anything you guys want to share on that?
No, as we discussed at the last board meeting, HWC is now involved. They are working on the updates and some of the concerns that the board brought up at the last couple meetings as far as the contract for those professional services. I did share that email with the board. It seems like they are amenable to making some of those changes. And it sounds like they're excited to get this project going. I don't have much more of an update at this time. You guys know how it is, Christmas to New Year's, there's not a whole lot going on in the professional world, so I'm hoping here in the next week or so we can re-engage with HWC and really kick this project off and hopefully get it to completion here in the maybe not Q1, but at least have our part done by the end of Q1 this year, with a goal of having it implemented by the end of Q2. Once the ordinance is written, and we have worked with the city and the county planning office, and everybody's had eyes on it. It kind of starts off with the board recommending this is, Nick, we would like you to present this to the city council and to the county council, and then I will be working with both planning departments, with the city and the county, both to present those to the Board of Zoning Appeals, as well as probably the Planning Commission and the councils ultimately for adoption. So there's going to be a lot of meetings and a lot of steps for us to get through, but I'm confident we'll get there here in the next few months. It's just one of those games where we have to wait for the next meeting to take place so we can check that off the box, or check that box off and move on to the next. So any questions on how that will proceed?
I want to thank Steve for his comments and
Yeah,
insight
thank you.
on the contract review. Appreciate that. All right, motion for approval of,
Sorry, Mary, go ahead.
No, I was.
Motion for
gonna say,
3,000,
I was
yep.
gonna move into that. Yep, thank you.
motion for approval of CHA invoice 584110-07 in the amount of $3,000. I'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Steve moved,
Second.
second by John. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, none opposed. All right, next.
Next is runway 927 rehabilitation. So we have been working with Finman Brown. You'll see that we do have a pay app for them on this. I do believe the pay app that, I don't know if you guys have a hard copy. I just want to make note that I have received a revised version because I noticed that it did say pay app 2 instead of pay app 3 if you are looking at that hard copy. So please note that I have received the corrected version of that. And that is also why you don't have a pay app letter from me, because I was waiting for that to be corrected, so.
You may not have a hard copy. We didn't get this from Fenton Brown until yesterday.
Yeah,
So I've got one here. It should be in there? Okay. It's the green,
it would be.
green with the yellow back, yep.
It just says pay up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the top,
It just says, yeah, to,
And it's supposed to say what?
pay up 3. And they did,
Yeah.
Mary's got it up, and you can see on the screen that they do have the updated pay app on there. So-
Dollar amount stays the same?
Correct. Nothing else changes,
Yeah,
just
the dollar
the
amount
pay app
stays.
number.
You all see this?
yeah.
Okay. Steve, do you have it also? Steve, do you have it also?
I'm looking.
Should be near the end.
Should have the yellow and green highlighted
Here it is,
cells
yes.
on it.
Yes.
So yeah, so just please note that the copy you have does say 2, and I'm referencing 3 because that was an error that is corrected. So that is the last payout that we will receive from them until we release retainage. So we're holding retainage until we receive all of the liens from Clifton Brown. So just wanted to make you aware of that. Also with this project, as I kind of mentioned earlier, we are in the process of starting to repackage and package 2 of this program so that we can take that out to rebid. So we have 2 motions for the board tonight. One is for CHA's invoice 5841211-12 and then $944.40. And the second is for Fitted Brown's payout application number 3, and that amounts to $11,875.00. Any questions for me on any of these items?
Sure, I don't think so.
That is 11-12, not 11-11 as on here, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm going to take Finn and Brown's first. I entertain a motion for approval of Finn and Brown's pay app number 3 for the 927 rehabilitation.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Ernie. Second. Second by Steve. Any questions or comments? All right, all in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous, none approved. All right, now we'll take, I'll entertain a motion for CHA invoice 5841211-11 in the amount of,
It's 112.
It's 112.
oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is on here.
Yeah, it's on here, but it's wrong on.
Yeah.
Okay, in the amount of $944.40.
So moved.
All right, motion by John,
Second.
second by Ernie. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by aye. Aye. None opposed. All right, next.
All right, next is Taskway Alpha Basis of Design. So we have received boring logs from our geotech K&S engineers. We're still waiting on the full geotech report, but we will try and start some of the preliminary items now that we have those boring logs. We can do a little bit until we get the full report. So just getting everything set up, getting the schedule and whatnot. We've been working through that and getting everyone up to speed. So we do have a motion for board approval for CHA invoice 5841212-01 in the amount of $1,775.90. And this is an FAA funded project, so the local share is $44.40.
Can we afford that?
I told Mary if she starts billing us more than the $44 moving forward, I don't think we'd be able to pay the bills anymore, so.
All right, entertain a motion for approval of CHA invoice 5841212-01 in the amount of $1,775.90.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Ernie. Questions or comments?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, none opposed. All right, next.
Next is just an update on the capital improvement plan. We did submit that to NDOT. We did have a comment back from the FAA. The way that we had categorized taxiway Alpha, they were wanting it, we had basically combined it all into one overall project. They were wanting us to basically separate the pavement, separate the signage, and separate the electrical, just to make it easier for them to kind of budget items on their behalf. So that did require a different PMP section. So Dan, you've already signed it, but I need another signature on that. So I believe Kelsey will have that for you to sign let you know that that was part of the CIP as well, so.
Okay.
And that's all that I have. Any questions for me?
Nope, I don't have any.
I don't have any. Ernie,
Well,
do
thank
you
you,
have any?
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
All right. Unless
All
you
right,
guys
now we have a
questions.
manager's report. Thank you, Mary. Robert?
You're welcome.
All right, before we get into the rest of the manager's report, we did have one lease I wanted to bring up to the board. Bill Salen has been on our field for 10 years, and his lease was actually up for the option to extend. We sat down and discussed it because he was on the old land lease. And as the board is aware, we are trying to make sure that everybody who is signing new leases or is exercising their option is at least aware of what the new lease looks like that the FAA wanted us to use. Upon review, Bill was fine with signing the new lease, which brings him underneath that umbrella and make sure that, you know, the new rules that the FAA has or has requested airports use in their lease language are being followed. The benefit for him, he does get an extra 10 years on his lease. So he's been a great tenant. He has an airplane. He purchases fuel from us. I would support the signing of the new lease to bring him underneath the current lease structure. And then it does have that odd added benefit for Bill of having an additional 10-year option at the end of his current, or this new lease, if he so elects to use that option. So I would support this, but would need board motion and approval for that.
So we're on 10 and 10, is that what you said?
The new lease is 20 and 10. Yep.
Okay.
So,
I'll make that motion.
All right, motion by John,
Second.
second by Ernie. Any other questions? Which hangar is that?
6A.
6A. All in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
Okay, just need a signature there from everybody. Okay, manager's report, fuel usage report. At the end of the year, we were up in jet fuel sales, just under 10%, about 9.2% we were up in our jet fuel sales. Our avgas sales, we were down about the same amount, about 9.2%. But because we are so heavily weighted on our jet fuel, we're actually up year over year, just over 7%. As we partner with our local ag groups and receive more crop dusting contracts, that has been a huge boost to our local fuel sales. That word is getting out. We are getting more contractors every year reaching out, looking for those, that partnership with the airport. And it has been a really, really good partnership so far. I would recommend that the board continue doing that and not adjusting that fuel pricing structure with our ag group at this time. We're still making money and we're still able to partner with our ag group, which is one of the larger industries in town. And if we can help our farmers out, I think that's a strong path moving forward. So any questions on that at all?
No?
Do you need a motion on that?
Nope, just unless the board wants to change something, we can just leave it as is. And unless you guys have specific questions on the fuel usage report or the income statement, I did have 2 more updates to bring to the board. These do not need to be filled out tonight, but please take one and pass them down. It is the first of the year, and there are state-required uniform conflict of interest forms that need to be filled out and kept on file if such a conflict is there. It may not be there. You may not need to fill one out at all. But the city attorney and the airport attorney both recommend that we pass those out and have you guys review and make sure that there are no conflicts of interest. And if there are, let's make sure that the appropriate paperwork is filed and we're doing things appropriately.
So if we don't have one, we don't have to fill it out?
Correct.
Okay.
I will confirm that with the city attorney, but that has been the way it has been in the past. But I will confirm and let the board know via email on that. And the only other thing that I have to bring up, we are finalizing, or I am finalizing the RFQ for our fuel provider search, and I'm hoping to have that mailed out in the next week or two. I will need 2 members of the board to be on the selection committee to make the recommendation to the board. Ernie, we are looking at going out for requests for qualification from fuel companies to make sure that we are receiving the best service possible from our fuel provider. We've not done that in some time, and not that we're having issues, but we just want to make sure that we're getting the best service we can get. And there are some new companies that are around that may be able to serve us better or have lower costs. And so we would just need 2 board members to be on that committee. I also will be on there at the end of the day. The 4 this is just a recommendation to the board. The board will have all of the same information. This is just going to be 2 people to really dig into the weeds and look through those documents that will be provided to give that recommendation to the board on which company. If the board so elects, we don't have to do the committee process. That's just how it is typically done when we go out for RFQ to try and see if there's any low-hanging fruit or high-hanging fruit we want to really go after, so.
Is that something we need to approve separately here, or? It's in the file, but I didn't see anything on her report.
No, that was part of one of the grants.
Okay.
The Apex Consulting, Mary, that was for survey work for 927, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, that's the improved runway 927 RSA project. Yep, so that was covered underneath one of the approvals.
Okay.
So does would the board like to set up a fuel RFQ committee? Would you like to have everything presented to the board and then we go through it? It's really up to the board and how you would like to handle this. When we did our engineer and our consultant search a few years ago, we had 2 board members, the mayor and the city engineer, sat on a group. We can't have more than 2 because of quorum rules. And myself, and we went through the grading rubric that was provided for the consultant search. This will be very similar to that. And then we made the recommendation to the board based off of that grading rubric. And then the board made the decision on ultimately to go, obviously, with CHA since they're still working with us today. But this will be a similar process.
How many fuel vendors are we looking at?
Good question.
I know that I will be sending out the RFQ to at least 3, if not 4 companies. There are half a dozen to a dozen that could theoretically submit. Realistically, I think there's 6 or 7 that could meet our requirements and what we are looking for. Some are too small. Some do not have a presence east of, some in the country, jet fuel's fairly easy. It's avgas that's getting more and more difficult to find providers for, and I have an update on that I'll get to in just a second. But currently we are required to carry 100 low lead, and that eliminates a lot of fuel providers right there, just because having that lead additive in the fuel makes it so that there's only certain carriers that make it, refine it, and distribute it. Realistically, our current company, World Fuel, obviously can fill that job. There is AvFuel, there is Titan, there is BP, there is Aeroshell. There's a few different companies out there that could theoretically put in for this. I would say that World Fuel, branded either as World Fuel or Phillips 66, Avfuel and Titan are the most prevalent in our region. And those would be the ones that I would be reaching out to. Those are the ones speaking with our peers in the airport community across the state and even across the state line up into Michigan. Those are the three that most airports use because they have the best distribution networks in our area. And because they have refineries close to here, we're not having to pay freight to ship the fuel in from Texas or from Louisiana, something like that. And so that's a big part of this discussion is who has access to what refineries, what are the shipping costs, what services. And we might talk to a fuel company and they could say, you know what, we don't provide any support services at all. We don't, if you need a hose or you need a filter or you need help with something, you're on your own. Our current company can help with some of that, not all of it, but they can help with quite a bit of that if we need filters or hoses. There are certain areas where I've called and asked for help and they just don't have that in-house, and so we've had to go outside to look for that. And that's a main reason that we're looking at, is there a vendor that can provide more service to us as we're moving forward? Another thing that we're gonna have to consider that's a part of the RFQ is fuel trucks. Our trucks are old. Our jet truck, by my last calculation, has pumped around 48 million gallons through it since we have purchased it in 1986. So it has lived a very, very good life and has served us very well. And I have to commend our street department's maintenance department in helping us maintain that and keep it going. But the old girl's tired, and we either need to do a frame-off restoration and have a new pump, new PTO, new engine transmit, and I mean, we'd be sinking $150,000, $200,000 into this truck, or we would be looking to purchase either a new truck or maybe a 2-year off lease, and then what are those purchase options or lease options that the different companies have available. So our Av and our jet trucks, our jet truck for sure needs to be looked at. And I misspoke, I said it was 40, it's 30 years old this year. We bought it new in 96. So Avgas truck isn't quite as old. I think it's a 2007 or 2008. We purchased it in 2014. It has some life left to it, but there are some parts on it that are becoming obsolete and harder to find. And when the truck goes down, it might be down for a week, as I'm sure some of the pilots can attest. They have to taxi over to the fuel farm, and we have to fuel them there instead of taking the truck over to them. Now, once the self-serve is in place, that will help alleviate things. And the self-serve may be a big portion of this as well. We might have a company that comes in and says, hey, you know what, if you sign with us and you sign I'm just throwing round numbers, but if you sign a 5-year contract, we'll install a self-serve system for free and it's yours. I don't know what those proposals will be, and that's why I think it's really important that we go out and we have this conversation with the fuel providers and see what they have to offer.
So who would like to volunteer to be on a committee for that research?
Well, the question is, do we even need a committee or not? I think we need to decide on that first. I don't know about everybody else, but I don't feel like I'm a fuel expert. So I'm personally pretty comfortable with the airport manager making that decision.
And bringing the recommendation to the board.
Yeah.
I would concur.
That's fine with me.
Okay, there you have it.
We'll make it happen.
Okay.
And then right along that update is also going to be the Avgas 100 low lead. I don't know a whole lot about it quite yet. I got an email 5 minutes before the board meeting started. But there is a new pamphlet that has just been released by the FAA on migrating from 100 low lead to 100 no lead. And so there is a potential for a drop-in replacement fuel. Steve, with our piston aircraft, they still use 100 leaded fuel. There's low lead in that fuel. And it has been something the FAA has been trying to move away from for several years, but engine maintenance issues and detonation issues, there's a whole litany of things that have gone awry when trying to switch away from the leaded fuel. It's taken some time, and in the last couple years, there's been some big breakthroughs. So it'll be very interesting this year to see what happens as we move towards 100 no lead and what that transition will be and how it will look on the airport world. So Other than that, I don't have a whole lot else, unless there are any questions or comments for the beginning of the year here.
So where do we stand currently on the self-serve?
I'm pausing right this minute until we get through the RFQ, just in case one of the companies would step forward and say that part of their package to the airport would include a self-serve system, a reduced cost self-serve system. There could be a potential for financing a self-serve system. We won't know that until we receive and open those RFQs publicly, so. I think that we've waited this long, I think it's worth waiting another 4 to 6 weeks to open those and make sure that we don't go out and purchase a system and then have somebody say, well, had you gone with us, we would have given you one at X price and saved some money. So I think that's the best path forward, in my opinion.
Okay.
Great question.
Any other questions at this time?
No.
All right. So, do we have anything else to discuss?
Yep, we do. Officer election.
Oh, thank you, John. Officer elections.
Okay. Yeah, that's not even on the agenda, is it?
That's, yep.
Good for you. All right, so where do we start with this?
Well,
I guess we want nominations for president. One at a time, do we? All right, nominations for president.
I nominate Mr. Robinson.
Second.
Third.
All right. What do we have, it requires a
need a
motion, doesn't
yeah.
it?
Well, that's been motion, seconded, and third, so we just need a vote.
I call for a vote on the motion for president, naming Dan Robinson. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Who, Steve made the motion?
Yeah.
All right,
You're such a
nominations
lucky
for
guy.
vice president.
I nominate Mr. Yingling.
And second that motion.
All right. Any discussion on that? All in favor of John Gaming being vice president for 2026 of the board? Signify by aye.
Aye.
I'll sustain for that vote.
Okay. Now, do we have to
Now the
nominate a
important
secretary also?
Yep, we need
All
a
right.
recording secretary.
We need a secretary.
I
Secretary.
nominate Steve.
What did I ever do to you?
Because I'm the new guy on the block.
All right, do we hear a second for that?
I'll second it.
All right, any
It's an easy
discussion? All in favor of Steve being secretary of the BOAC for 2026, signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? One
You better not
abstention.
say nothing, Steve.
All right, anything else?
That's it.
Thanks for the reminder, John.
Oh, yeah.
No.
All right, our next,
Now we're done.
let me see here. Our next meeting, I believe, is February 10th. Yep.
What's this? New meeting place? What's?
Yes, so February 10th, we will be temporarily displaced as the HVAC system in City Hall is updated over the next few weeks. So we will be in the police training room adjacent to the police department. I will send out a reminder email with a map of where to go and where to park, and there will be signage. It's very easy to find. It's just east of where the police station is off of Fort Wayne Street, right behind
Kroger.
right behind Kroger. Yep,
Well, it's part of the police department.
correct. Yep,
You can park in the back and then the door to get in.
yep.
Okay. Do we have anything from our visitors? No questions or comments? Okay. Well, and you say February what?
February 10th at 5:15 at the police training grounds.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Any Jim? We are adjourned.
Awesome.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Robert.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Well, again, welcome, Ernie.
Good to see you all.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you.